Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you, and I want to bring you an urgent update regarding the war in Gaza. So we have news right now that it looks like this Rafah invasion has officially begun by the IDF. So we put out reports this morning. I let you know that Israel was evacuating the eastern side of Rafah, and they were going to be evacuating something like 100,000 or more civilians from that area. They were dropping leaflets as well to let people know to start leaving now while they have the chance. And I had no idea this thing was beginning so quickly, but it looks like it has officially begun. We have lots of reports coming out online of bombs being dropped all over Rafah. I don't think it's happening just in the eastern side. But let me tell you this, these people are still here, okay? They have not been fully evacuated yet, and this operation is already beginning, and the bombs are already falling. So I'm not sure what we're seeing here, but it's definitely not going to be good, and I told all of you that whenever Israel was going to go into Rafah, this was going to be very bad. There was going to be a lot of innocent people getting killed, and many of them are women and children, okay? It's not all men. Many of them are women and children from what we're being told. So this thing is going to get really bad over here very quick, and I'm sure we're going to see some intense uproar around the world from this right now. So we've got lots of things to go over. I want to go ahead and get right into this and start sharing this information with you. Real quick as well, we're going to go over this article, but I want to tell you that I put out a report earlier as well saying that Hamas had accepted a ceasefire deal from Israel that was brokered in Egypt or with Qatar. And it looks like Israel has rejected that, and they're saying there is no deal. They're going ahead with the invasion of Rafah, and that's what we're seeing happening right now. So let's get right into this. On the Jerusalem Post, IDF strikes Hamas terror targets in East Rafah. The Prime Minister's office said earlier on Monday night that the War Cabinet had agreed to continue with Israel's planned operation. So this is after the Hamas deal, the Hamas acceptance of the ceasefire deal not going through, okay? They said it last minute, basically, when Israel was launching their ground invasion, that they were going to accept the deal, and then Israel's like, no, there is no deal. We're going in. So it says here, the IDF spokesperson said on Monday night that the military conducted precise, targeted strikes against Hamas terror targets in eastern Rafah. The Prime Minister's office said earlier on Monday night that the War Cabinet had agreed to continue with Israel's planned Rafah operation. The War Cabinet unanimously decided that Israel continues the operation in Rafah to exert military pressure on Hamas in order to promote the release of our hostages and the other goals of the war, the statement read. The PMO also noted that in parallel, and despite the fact that the proposal is far from Israel's necessary requirements, Israel will send a delegation of mediators to exhaust the possibility of reaching an agreement under conditions acceptable to Israel. This comes despite Hamas's earlier agreement with the Qatari and Egyptian ceasefire proposals. So see what I mean? So yeah, they're not going to be willing to reach any agreement anymore. This is game on now, and the Rafah invasion is going to continue. I told all you guys this so many times that Benjamin Netanyahu said, regardless of a deal or anything, they're going into Rafah. So that's why they're completely ignoring everything and they're going right in. Okay, deal doesn't exist. Former senior Israeli security source told the Jerusalem Post on Monday that the proposed deal Hamas said they agreed upon doesn't actually exist. And it says here, this so-called deal is proof that we've just started to apply pressure on Hamas by promoting a ground entrance to Rafah, and we suddenly received a green light from Hamas for a prisoner exchange deal and a ceasefire. The source added that the reported ceasefire deal is a proposal that no one in the Israeli administration recognizes. It's a proposal Hamas invented. They are playing with us. They are telling the world we agreed to a ceasefire to try to prevent Israel from a ground incursion. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I'm not sure whether this is true or not. At least that's what we're being told here from Israel. But they basically said this at the last minute, okay? If you notice, whenever I reported that this morning that they accepted the ceasefire, this was right when Israel was like, okay, we're going into Rafah. We're evacuating people now. That's right when they decided to say that they were accepting it, which I thought was interesting. So it says, Gantz, we face a cruel enemy. Chairman of the National Unity Party, Benny Gantz, stated on Monday, I want to address the citizens of Israel and especially the families of the hostages, we face a cruel enemy. We will never give up on the effort to bring our hostages home. We will continue to work for their return as a matter of duty. The negotiation team is working around the clock to examine the proposal presented by Hamas, which does not align with the dialogue held so far with the mediators and contains significant differences. Nevertheless, we continue to turn every stone and dispatch delegations to Cairo. Every decision will be brought to the Security Cabinet. There will be no political considerations, he added. Even the military operation in Rafah is an integral part of our ongoing efforts and commitment to bring back our abductees and change the security reality in the South. We will continue all efforts until we bring them home. So, a developing story at this time. Okay, so this is going to get very interesting over here, I'm telling you. We got lots of warnings coming out. There was like an ex-IDF chief that was coming out as well, and he was saying that, Israel shouldn't go in and do this. They shouldn't launch this invasion and, attack Rafah. That they should call it off because it's gonna create more isolation for Israel, more issues, and he just completely was disagreeing with this. So it's obviously a very controversial thing. Some people think they should go in and some shouldn't, or some think that they shouldn't. But regardless, I mean, at least when it comes to me, my opinion is there's lots of innocent civilians here. And I've been saying that from the very beginning. And there's millions of them, okay? There's well over 1 million of them as far as we know. So if it's really that compacted with that many people, there's going to be a lot of innocent casualties, okay? So a few things I want to go over here on X as well with you. Let's take a look at these. Megatron Ron posts, breaking, Israel's attack on Rafah has begun despite the Hamas accepted the ceasefire and hostage exchange proposal. Very violent and continuous bombardment on the eastern region of Rafah. Tanks are entering Rafah. Brutal bombing by aviation and artillery. The area is full of refugee children. It will be an unprecedented massacre. I'm seeing a lot of that. Unfortunately, I'm seeing lots of talk of that, of saying this is going to be a massacre. We're going to show you some video footage here in just a second too, of these bombs being dropped. And again, many of these are just kids and women. And I don't know what's going to come from this, but this is not good. Okay, I'm only saying it's not good in terms of the innocent children and the people that are there that don't want to be a part of this. Okay, they've got nowhere to go. So I'm hoping and praying the best for them, that nobody is harmed, or hopefully not many people are harmed at all. But we know that this is going to be bad because there's going to be lots of casualties here, most likely, because it's just so compacted. There's so many people in one small city. So let's take a look at this too from Raylan Givens. Our IDF lions pray and blow the shofar before entering Rafah. So they're all praying here. This is the IDF. They're praying and getting ready to enter into Rafah. And this is at sunset, as you can see, right before the invasion started, which began at nighttime, which is obviously over there at the time that I'm recording this. It's later in the evening, but the Rafah invasion began in the evening over here on Monday. So let's take a look at this. It's a minute and 40 seconds. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we'll just kind of get an idea here of what we're going to see. Okay, so again, it's just the IDF praying here, getting ready for this upcoming invasion of Rafah. And this shows right here too, proof. If they're praying, they're definitely preparing to go in. Okay, that's something that any army would probably do right before they go in, is start to pray to protect themselves whenever they start to go in. So we're not going to watch the whole thing. We don't really need to. It's kind of repetitive, but it's just them praying. Just wanted to give you an idea there that, yeah, definitely the IDF was preparing here to go in. Okay, so also here from Miriam from Gaza. While everyone is busy talking about a ceasefire, East Rafah is being massacred right now, and Israel's dropping flare bombs. I'm not sure what flare bombs are. To be honest, I've never heard of that before. Maybe those are real things. I don't know. I've never heard of a flare bomb. These look like just flares to me, but I don't know if there's some sort of bomb that can be attached to these or something. But here's a few pictures that were posted here. There's lots of video footage and pictures coming out online of flares being dropped all over Rafah, because again, this started to happen towards the end of the evening here. And yeah, so we got some pictures there. We'll take a look at this too from Mohammed Safa. Rafah is being decimated. There is nowhere left to go. Israel is now bombing more than 1.7 million civilians trapped in Rafah. Gaza is the last place of refuge. A massacre is happening in Rafah right now, and the world is silent. So this shows like a bomb being dropped here. It looks like it could be in Rafah somewhere. So let's take a look at this, 17 seconds long. Okay, so clearly, as you can see here, you can hear cars honking in the background. You can hear people talking. Someone is clearly recording this, and there's a bomb dropping. This looks like maybe about 50 to 100 yards away, and there's a bomb dropping right there in the middle of the city. I would assume it's some sort of Hamas target. That's what Israel said, that they're targeting Hamas in certain areas. But again, you see what I mean? Like, look at these bombs dropping so close to people. Innocent people that are there just recording this. So very scary. I can't imagine what these people are going through. They've got to be very worried. Here's another post from Mohammed Smiri. It says Rafah now. Okay, so here's another picture of some of these flares or flare bombs. I'm not sure what they are. I'll just call them flares, but maybe there is something called a flare bomb that I'm not aware of. Yeah, so more pictures of flares there. And finally, this is a post from Howard Beckett. Hamas has just told Egypt and Qatar that it agrees to the ceasefire agreement. Israel is continuing to bomb eastern Rafah. The USA and the UK must stop the slaughter, or Biden, Sunak, Starmer, von der Leyen can join Netanyahu in The Hague. So definitely Howard Beckett not happy with what's going on over here. I don't know if we'll watch this whole clip. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds, but we'll take a look and see what we see. If there starts to run out of, stuff to look at, we'll go ahead and skip through it or just go ahead and end the video. So let's take a look. Okay, so what we're seeing here is lots of smoke, looks like from more bombs being dropped, and the bombing started during the day, okay, before it even got to nighttime. Lots of video footage coming out online of bombs being dropped well before the nighttime, but I believe the IDF started to move in with tanks and their troops once it got to basically nighttime, okay? So, yeah, I just wanted you guys to see some of this footage here and get that out to you so that way you know this whole thing is beginning. And I've been talking about this for about 2-3 months now, ever since it was first announced that Israel was planning to go into Rafah. And it took them a while to go in, but it looks like officially as of May 6, 2024, they are going into Rafah. And I'm telling you now, okay, this is not going to be good in terms of civilian casualties. It's going to get really bad over here. And these people are already starving and don't have a lot of supplies. And it's just going to be even worse when the fighting begins. And it looks like it's starting now. So, yeah, I mean, let me know what you think down below. I'm definitely worried for the people over there. Let me know what you think down below. Share your thoughts and concerns and opinions in the comment section. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.